Today is July 30th. The trade deadline has passed for Major League Baseball. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live, brought to you by Royal Banks of Missouri and Munganess St. Louis Acura. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey and Rammer. We are now 15 minutes past the trade deadline. All of the extra last-minute trades, all of the little particulars have kind of trickled out as we have seen the time come and go. The Cardinals make one move today.
Yeah.
Carlson gets moved to the Rays. In return, the Cardinals get back right-hander Sean Armstrong. So just a quick little recap of what the Cardinals have done here at the trade deadline. They moved Tommy Edman to the Dodgers, who had not played a single inning, taken a single at-bat for the Cardinals the entire year. They traded Dylan Carlson, which I think many were ready to move on from months ago within the Cardinal organization. And in return, they got a starter who will be moved to number 2 in the rotation and start on Friday. They got a outfielder, right-handed hitting outfielder, and they got an extra arm in the bullpen. So they have traded away 2 guys that were not going to produce anything for the Cardinals this year, and in return got 3 guys that I think we're going to see a lot of in the second half of the year. Just an excellent trade deadline by John Mozeliak to not give away any of the future of the Cardinals and improve the now.
And improve the now. I think that's 100% right, Joe. And yeah, I think if you're going to list your depth chart, you have Sonny 1 and Fetty 2. However, in the last, really over the course of this season, Fetty's outperformed him. So if I was starting a playoff series tomorrow, Fetty would start. But playoffs don't start for 2 whole months. And a lot of times you see somebody comes in and what do they say? A rising tide raises all boats. And so maybe having a guy who's been achieving more consistently come in, breath of fresh air into the rotation, and maybe everybody gets a little bit better.
Yeah, and we will, I think another thing that we haven't mentioned yet on the show, Cardinals also are going to make a roster move here in the next 24 hours that I think a lot of fans, this should be exciting because it's a former first-round pick from 2001, Michael McGreevy. He's starting tomorrow for the Cardinals. So a former first-rounder from 3 years ago is going to make his major league debut. On Friday. Make his major league debut on Friday at Wrigley Field, 1:20 in the afternoon. That Friday afternoon game at Wrigley, you're going to see a former first-round pick for the Cardinals get a start for the Redbirds against the Cubs and kind of push everybody back a day in the rotation and give everybody a little break as they start a run of 16 games in a row. So the Cardinals have, again, gone from within to try to improve the pitching on the team this year.
Yeah, and I think improve the pitching for one start, I think. But as you point out, to help everybody else kind of gear up for the final 2-month push. And I think that's exactly right. And barring injury, it should be a set 5 all the way through. That 5th spot has been, who draws the short straw every 5th day, kind of. That's sort of been the way it's felt much of the year. Palante's had some moments. Libertor's had some moments. We've had bullpen games. But now it should be a solid 5, 1 through 5, the rest of the way.
Yeah, and with that too, adding Fetty to the mix allows you to put Andre Palante in the bullpen, and as I talked about Claves yesterday, kind of gives you a left-handed guy, a left-handed arm. If you look at the splits out in the bullpen, when you look at what Andre Palante, a right-handed pitcher, does against lefties with his reverse splits and numbers, it's another arm that's going to be back there in the bullpen and help you out down this stretch run. Sean Armstrong, the guy that they got today, nothing really spectacular about him. He has he has pitched, he's been in 38 games already this year. an ERA of 5.40. He's nothing. He's not going to come in and set the world on fire. It was a guy where they finally found a trade partner to take Dylan Carlson. They got somebody back. You hope that maybe he gives you some solid innings at some point this year and allows you to give guys maybe like a Chris Roycroft or somebody like that just a little bit of a bullpen that seems like they're being thrown out there anytime the Cardinals are down in a game.
Has there been talk that he's absolutely on the big league roster and he won't be sent out? Has there been confirmation?
I have not seen it. I mean, this really just came at the very end. So yeah, I do not. I don't know what the plans are for him.
Yeah, maybe they'll give him a look. And you got 2 or 3 guys. The last you got 8 guys in the bullpen. Guys 6, 7, and 8. You'd like to be able to say all 8 guys are terrific. It just doesn't work that way anymore in the big leagues. And maybe he fights with the last couple of guys for a spot. We'll see.
A few other major moves made at the deadline. One guy that we mentioned on this show, just to start small. We'll start small and work our way up to the big ones. Andrew Chafin traded from the Tigers to the Rangers. Not sure if he will be at Busch Stadium tonight, but that was the name that I mentioned that I wanted to see the Cardinals go out and get. He ended up getting moved, and he'll be at Busch Stadium tonight, just in the wrong dugout. At the trade deadline. But the big moves coming at the end here. Jack Flaherty goes from the Tigers to the Dodgers. Jack Flaherty gets to go to LA, where I think many of us thought that he wanted to go before he signed that deal with the Tigers this offseason. But the Dodgers got him. Dodgers now have Tommy Edman and Jack Flaherty on their team. They also went out and got Kevin Kiermaier for the end too. Kevin Kiermaier a few weeks ago announced that this is his last year. He's retiring after this year, and now he gets a chance to try to go win a World Series with the Dodgers.
Yeah, he's probably a defensive replacement in center field. Still a terrific outfielder. Not much of anything offensively anymore. And going back to Jack Flaherty, I hope that Jack doesn't overthink things. I've met him a few times. I found him to be very likable and insightful, but I think sometimes he overthinks a given situation, a given game, a given opponent, a given at bat. And I hope he doesn't get back home and kind of let it mess with his head. He's had a very good year for a very bad team, and now he's going to one of the best. So I wish him the best. I think he's a good guy.
One of the biggest shocks of the trade deadline, White Sox did not trade Garrett Crochet, once thought to be one of the top arms at the trade deadline. Maybe screwed himself out of getting traded to a better situation. Comments that he made last week saying that, first off, he wasn't going to pitch out of the bullpen wherever he went, and then saying that he wanted to sign a long-term extension wherever he went if he was going to pitch in the postseason. That he wanted a team to sign him long-term to pitch in the postseason. So he might have done that to himself. He might have stuck himself in Chicago, kind of looking around, wondering who else is there, because Luis Robert also did not get traded from Chicago. I mean, the White Sox were in full fire sale mode and didn't get rid of possibly their 2 biggest chips.
Except they're both young and they could still build around them. Wouldn't it be interesting if we found out someday that the Cardinals really wanted Crochet, but that his comments last week turned him off a little bit? That would be interesting. Or other suitors the same way.
Yeah, he is. He's only earning $800,000 this year under control through 2026.
Yeah.
So it's they have him for a while. Only 25 years old. Another major move the White Sox made. Eloy Jimenez goes to the Orioles, just kind of dropping him a salary dump there for the White Sox, getting rid of Eloy Jimenez. Paul DeJong gets traded to the Royals, who is actually who the White Sox are actually playing right now up on the south side. So Paul DeJong just packed up his stuff and went down the hallway to the other dugout.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he, as I'd been saying for a couple of years, and Paul was proving me wrong as an everyday guy, I said for a long time, I thought his future would be as a backup utility guy, and that he could play for a lot more years in that many more years in that role. Again, he got to play every day, but let's admit it, the worst team in baseball. Now he goes to an absolutely legit contender. I don't see him playing every day, and I think he's going to be in a role where he can really help Kansas City.
You're going over. Arguably the best player in baseball is who he's backing up right now. If you look at Bobby Witt Jr.'s numbers over the last 162 games, he is one of the best, if not the best, in all of baseball over that time. So Paul DeJong is not going to get many, if any, starts at short down the stretch run.
He should be. I don't know if he's considered it, but he should have been thinking, I'm going to be a utility guy and play all 4 infield spots and be a right-handed bat. Will he adapt to that? I don't know.
Well, we didn't see it here in St. Louis. We didn't see it in any of the other places that he has gone at the time being, which it is kind of surprising to me that he never did kind of do that. I do take this back. He has played 11 games at third base for the White Sox this year. So He has played a little bit of third base, which is kind of funny. You mentioned that right now. The Yankees in a bit of a situation with what to do with Jazz Chisholm, because right now he's playing third base for them because Gleyber Torres refuses to move away from second base, even though he currently leads all of baseball in errors by second baseman. He won't move, so the Yankees are forced to put Jazz Chisholm at third right now.
I find that very odd, and the fact that a guy won't move. And I thought Chisholm would move into center field to kind of cut down on the wear and tear on the legs of Judge, but behind the scenes stuff, especially in the Bronx, you just never know.
Yeah, it is. It is a little crazy. I'm gonna say Padres probably won the trade deadline in all of baseball. Yeah, I think what they went out and did at the trade deadline. If you missed this, they went out. They got Tanner Scott, the closer of the Rays. They already got Jason Adam earlier this week. Luis Arrives much earlier in the season. You now have a bullpen of Robert Suarez, Jeremiah Estrada, Adrian Morjan also there too. So a very, very good bullpen for the Padres. And then at the last minute, they also acquired Martin Perez from the Pirates. So a lot of moves there. Mets get Paul Blackburn. If you're looking around at other relievers, Yankees get Mark Leiter Jr. So a lot of relief pitchers, as usual, getting thrown all around baseball here at the trade deadline as the Cardinals get Sean Armstrong for their game tonight, or for the second half of the season.
I may be leaving somebody out, but going back to acquiring Manny Machado, how do you not love the Padres' aggressiveness, the front office aggressiveness? I just can't imagine not enjoying being a fan. Now, when they lose games, you might not be happy with it, but I think they're poised to make a run now. And I should have checked before we came on Tatis's injury recovery time, but they are putting together a very formidable bunch.
I will say that I am surprised they didn't go out and get another top-end starter with Yu Darvish and Joe Musgrove both hurt at the moment. They went out and they really did a good job of making sure that bullpen was solid, but they did not. They didn't do much to address starting pitching at the end. I guess that's where Perez kind of fits in with that.
I think.
Yeah, so they need those two guys. They need Musgrove and Darvish to get healthy.
Yeah, good point.
In a hurry there. But you mentioned how aggressive they are. I mean, this is a team right now that's in the midst of a playoff run that just traded Juan Soto this offseason.
Right.
You're able to trade Juan Soto and still be in a position where you're a contender in the National League.
Yeah, you trade perhaps the best all-round hitter in the game, one of the best 3 or 4 for sure, and get a singles hitter from another team. So you say, well, how do you look at how that you place in the lineup, but they think bigger picture than that. I'm a big fan of Arias. He's a terrific leadoff guy, and when everybody's healthy and playing, they got enough thump in the lineup.
Yeah. Cardinals 2 games back of a wild card position right now, tied with the Pirates. For that, Arizona is in front of them before that third spot. Arizona today placed Christian Walker on the injured list with an oblique injury, but also went and traded for Josh Bell, who was designated for assignment by the Marlins earlier this week. So they go out and find a replacement first baseman for Christian Walker, who hurt himself and had to leave the game early last night. So that's, yeah.
I wonder if there was a call between Phoenix and St. Louis about another first baseman.
We will never know if anything was ever mentioned about Paul Goldschmidt at the trade deadline, but it should be I mean, the Astros did not improve at first base at the.
I know
the Brewers really didn't do anything at the trade deadline. The Astros didn't do much at the trade deadline. I mean, you look at the Cardinals, very minor things that they did at the deadline to improve their team. But there are teams out there right now where you are looking and scratching your head at that. I mean, Bellinger didn't go anywhere from the Cubs. I mean, Bellinger to Houston seems like that could have made a whole lot of sense for them for the second half.
Yeah, and I know you weren't denigrating the Cardinals by saying small move, just 2 players, but I think it specifically and absolutely addressed needs that the Cardinals had. And like I said yesterday, I think Mo was terrific. And I'll be interested, being the lineup nerd that I am, it almost sets up a Gorman Ciani from the left side, Pham Pajes from the right side. I doubt that it's a strict platoon that way, but let's see how it goes and who they put out there against lefties. And maybe they put Ciani on the bench more frequently and Tommy Pham plays more every day. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Well, here's the lineup for tonight. A very interesting lineup that the Cardinals are going with this evening. 2 starters in tonight's game that have 2,000 strikeouts for their career. I know there are 6 currently in Major League Baseball that have that 2,000 strikeout mark, and you're getting to see 2 of them tonight. One of those being future Hall of Famer Max Scherzer on the mound. Maybe the last time we get to see him pitch in St. Louis. He is starting tonight for the Rangers, going up against Lance Lynn for the Cardinals. The Cardinal lineup looks like this. Mason Wynn at short leading off, Alec Burleson left, Wilson Contreras behind the plate, Lars Nootbaar in right, Paul Goldschmidt at first, Matt Carpenter DHs, Brandon Crawford at third, Nolan Gorman at second, and Michael Ciani is in center field, so a night off for Nolan Arenado. For the Rangers, Josh Smith DHs and leads off, Corey Seager at short, Marcus Semien at second, Wyatt Langford in left, Adolis Garcia in right, Nathaniel Lowe at first, Josh Young at third, Jonah Heim is behind the plate, and Leody Taveras is in center field for the for the Rangers this evening. So Nolan Arenado with a night off.
Yeah, I don't know what Tommy Pham's numbers are against Scherzer. I can't imagine anybody has really good numbers against a future Hall of Famer. But I would have thought, you'd almost, you're a manager. I used to be a manager. I identify as a manager. I would have thought, hey, Tommy, let's get you back out there. Get your feet wet, putting on that Cardinal uniform again.
Tommy Pham has had 26 at-bats against Max Scherzer in his career and a career average of 115.
Tommy, let's wait till tomorrow. And this just in from the analytics boys down the hall. Take it easy tonight.
I should also, if I'm going to go there too, Nolan Arenado, 16 at-bats against Scherzer in his career, a 188 batting average against him. Brandon Crawford, 18 at-bats against Max Scherzer, 2 home runs and a batting average, and he's 6 for 18 in his career with 2 home runs against Max Scherzer. That's why Brandon Crawford's in the lineup tonight. Matt Carpenter has hit 242 in 33 at-bats against Max Scherzer in his career. So that's why you're seeing Brandon Crawford and Matt Carpenter in the lineup tonight against Max Scherzer.
Yeah, it's a good lineup. And hopefully this is the start of a big 2 months for the Cardinals. Regardless, look, we've already the accolades to native St. Louis and Max Scherzer. He might shove tonight. They may jump him and run him out. I don't know what's going to happen. But I think this is the start of an opportunity for a good run.
Yeah. Alec Burleson, Nolan Gorman, Michael Ciani, and Mason Wynn never have faced Max Scherzer in their career. Tonight will be their
Probably not going to like it.
I will say right now, one of those guys will hit a home run off Scherzer tonight. That's my prediction for that. One of those four I just named is going to go deep off Scherzer tonight.
Typically, I'd like to bet against you, but I'm betting with you tonight.
All right. I don't know who. I'm just throwing four names out there and giving myself a chance that one of those do, but that's where I stand with that. So if you missed it, if you're just coming in late on this, Dylan Carlson traded to the Rays. Cardinals get back Shawn Armstrong in return for that. They did send out a press release, Rammer, while we have been on the air for that. And it just says he's appeared in 38 games. Does not mention anything about where he will end up or what anything reporting wise for Shawn Armstrong.
And one more thing, and I know for a lot of people they're years away, so you don't worry about it. But a bunch of the draft picks get it underway tonight down in Florida in A-ball, and it's kind of exciting. I saw the lineup. It's pretty cool to kind of get a little early glimpse of the future.
Yeah, I thought J.J. Weatherford, and is it 5 other draft picks from the 2024 draft? All are getting starts
hitting
tonight.
Third, playing shortstop.
Yeah. All right, so pay attention down there. Find those the folks on Twitter that tweet about the Cardinal minor leagues. I know Cardinals do a good job with their development Twitter account, letting you know who is doing what in the organization there as well. All right, Rammer, that's going to do it for our show today. We're brought to you each and every day by Munganess St. Louis Acura and also your friends over at Royal Banks.
Royal Banks, where better service means better banking. It means not just a higher hello when you come in, but it means real service, helping you find just the right product you need and making sure you get it quick, efficiently, and get the bottom line to where you want to go financially. 314-212-1500, Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. This has been another edition of Daily Cards Live right here on ClaibsOnline.com.
Munganess St. Louis Acura is making room for the 2025 MDX, so that means great deals for you on the 2024 MDX. We have over 100 2024 MDX models in stock, and you get financing as low as 3.9% for up to 60 months. Or you can lease a new MDX for just $559 per month for 36 months. Or get the MDX technology model for just $589 per month for 36 months. Munganess St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.